And then Sassapat.
All right, so I think we're good. Double check. I like to double check actually on YouTube to make sure that like there's audio.
Once we're
Can Andy confirm?
Oh,
Andy,
I
are you
know.
listening?
Hopefully.
once you've finished the mic checks,
All right, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right,
we're
so
good.
there's like a little bit of a delay.
Double check actually. What do you say?
Now that you have the audio all figured out, can you turn down the headphones
Yeah.
so we can't hear them?
Can I just like put them over here?
Can you turn them? You can't turn them down. Is that a problem?
Do you like hearing it so you know that there's still sound?
Yeah.
Oh,
I check
that's fine
it
too.
throughout.
It doesn't really bother me. It's just something
No, I think we're good.
I notice every now and then. I can hear like a little bit of an echo.
Let's not listen to
I'm glad I
ourselves.
still know
twice.
some of your quirks, Zach.
What?
He's
All
the
right, you
technical
ready?
genius
I know.
of this show.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, of the show,
Okay. Well,
relative.
by default.
Relative.
By default. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. Sassapat, episode 10.
Ooh.
I'm James.
I'm Zach.
I'm Supna.
And I'm Soham.
There.
The Supnas.
The
Supnas.
The Supnas are here.
Welcome. Welcome to the basement.
I am excited. I haven't been in the basement in a really long time.
I've
Supna's
never been in a basement.
a
so-
basement.
Any
Not-
basement.
Here we go.
Supnas
First
from Texas,
basement.
I'm from
in case you
Texas,
didn't
and there are no basements in Texas, so
know. Yeah, their garages are their basements.
Yep.
So they park their cars outside.
we make
and use the
everything
garages as basements.
that you would
Or like
use
those.
as a basement in a garage. In our garage, we got a gym, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Which we have right here.
There
right
you
next
go.
To
I
you,
like it.
in the
Good deal.
basement.
That's where I work out, in the basement.
And a podcast studio and
Yeah,
All of the
it's
things.
half gym, half DIY center.
right,
Yeah.
you
That
have
has
to.
not, that has not been used in 2 months. So,
Oh,
but that's okay.
you built a
Well-
fence.
I was gonna say, what are you DIYing?
We built the fence. I want to build a floating deck and a pergola. We built some flower beds,
Mm-hmm.
flower boxes.
Yep.
What else did I do?
Well, we're going to do a
Like
feature
a board-
wall.
Yeah, like a board and batten type wall.
Yeah. And our neighbor has been asking for us to do their feature wall as well.
Yeah,
So maybe we'll tag team.
yeah. Just some like home improvement type project.
When does it stop becoming a DIY space and it's just a workshop?
Yeah.
That's true.
But
I
I think you should
would
just
know
call
that
it.
better
I
than
think
I
it
would.
sounds like a workshop.
I was gonna say, what are the?
I think
Parameters.
DIY is just like a marketing like term, I guess, for doing things.
for like home workshops.
Yeah, just like you're doing things
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
It's just doing
it.
DIY.
Doing
I
doing
did
it
it
yourself.
myself.
You're doing it yourself.
That is a good question, though. That's like an existential question.
I guess it's
When
just
does
for
it
people that
become a
don't
workshop?
do a lot of things themselves at first, start
Mhm.
calling it that, but then eventually they realize they're just like taking more control over the building and whatnot in their lives.
Are you gonna build a she shed?
I try.
Yeah.
It's more of a
A what?
multi-purpose shed.
Yeah. I would like a she shed, but maybe
Can-
the city of Austin is
What's that?
is against it.
Like just like a instead of an outdoor shed being a shed for storage.
Yeah.
you, like run electricity to it, do it
Mhm.
all up nice.
So
you can
basically,
actually,
my
like, use it
exterior
as
office
more like indoor type space.
or my dog
Right.
training center. Either one.
Yeah, it was gonna be. There's so many ideas that have floated by the last like year.
So it's just like an individual space
Yeah.
that only one person
Mhm.
has access
Shifted
to.
From Subna was gonna do dog training,
Mm-hmm.
so we were gonna make it like her office that wasn't in the house, so all the dogs don't come in the house.
Was going to or is going to do dog training.
I
Maybe
mean, I have a we go. I volunteer with the facility now, but
still. Yeah.
when
Then
I
it was
go
gonna
off.
be another office
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
because we both work from home now. So, but yeah, that's what the she shed was gonna be.
Yeah.
Is it a shed at all right now?
No, it's
It's,
just in my mind.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say it's an imaginary shed,
Okay.
and
There's
we
a lot
see
of
it. We see
supplies
it
on the
in
side of the
back.
house.
So you're
Lots of
ready,
Yeah.
kind of.
Kind of.
It's a disassembled shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ready.
Yeah, but that's
It's
what's
like
going
a open face.
Oliver would call it an outbuilding.
Oh, that's true. It could be an
Yeah,
outbuilding.
you can't call it a shed. You have to call it an outbuilding.
on. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta go see that thing.
Is that what he built? That thing he was building?
He's
back
building
then? Why
yeah.
is it called an outbuilding?
I don't know.
'Cause
Ask,
it's a-
you're gonna have to ask him.
I don't know.
Well,
I
it's
don't
not a-
question
it's not
things.
a bu-
Oliver,
it's a
join
building out there,
Oh,
Hmm.
and out there in mind.
I gotcha.
Because I don't think it's going to look very normal.
That sounds very Oliver-esque.
It's a little bit strange, but not as strange as it was going to be.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
Well, still, I guess it's just as strange, in a way, because it's Oliver's creation. It's like an art installation as well as a functional building.
That's pretty cool, though.
But it's fun to watch him and his dad like work together.
Yeah.
Are they good? Are they
Yeah.
good at it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are they like similar personalities?
No, they're not at all.
That's probably why it works.
But
Maybe that's why it works. I'm not sure, but it works.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
I could see that. Oliver having like more of the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Dad saying this is A, B, and C you have to do.
Yeah.
Kinda-
But his dad really does like make an effort to stick to the vision, which
Yeah.
is cool. You know, because like some people that are real practical like that will try to change it, and they'll be like they'll roll their eyes at the abstract components, you know.
Yeah.
And his dad just. I mean, I'm sure there's like, and I'm not like I don't hear all their conversations. I'm sure there's some like little bit of push and pull, but for the most part, like yeah, his dad's like he's pretty cool about it.
Nice. It's funny. That's kind of how our relationship is. Supna's the CEO visionary, and I'm the COO that ruins all the fun.
Oh,
You're the
that
fun
guy.
ruiner?
You're
Yeah.
that guy.
That's why I was kind of like.
He's the
rolling
fun
my-
police, as we like to call him.
No
The no fun
police.
police. What?
Yeah. Right?
No, I think it would be the fun police,
yeah,
right?
that's
'Cause you're
true. Yeah.
ruining the fun.
Sorry. You're right.
All right, so I'm going to start with Supna.
Do it.
Dog training.
Yes,
We all have dogs here, so.
let's do it.
How many dogs do you have?
We have 2. So, and I guess the third is my heart dog. But she was my first dog ever. And that's kind of where I got my intro to dog training, because she has a lot of fear and reactivity to things. And I was in kind of a deep depression, and my parents didn't know what to do with me. I physically couldn't get out of bed for a while. So they decided, well, you got to take care of Sophie, and you got to take care of something else besides yourself. And what do you know? It was a forcing function for me, because it was literally sink or swim. That dog would either go to the bathroom in my room, or I could take it outside. So I chose to develop a relationship with her, and through training, I was able to build more structure in my life, and just kind of advocate for dogs and the well-being of dogs, and kind of how our relationship also blossomed was when he adopted Augie. Yeah. You want to talk about Augie?
Okay.
Yeah.
They were asking you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You're in part of this.
Yeah, you're a part of this discussion
I'm
too.
part of
Now
the
you're,
Supnas?
yeah,
Okay.
you're,
No,
you're one of the.
one of
There's
two.
jumping points, and then it just goes from one thing to the next.
Yeah, no, Augie. I've always wanted a dog. My mom and dad. My dad always loved dogs too. He always loved like golden retrievers from his friend. And then, but my mom for whatever reason just did not want dogs in the house. Personal decision. It's fine. So we never got one, and I've always wanted one. When I was older, I said I would get one. It took a while, and then I think it was like 3 or 4 months into us dating. They had a yearly like adopt a dog type day where the shelters would waive the fees and sorry, Mike, waive the fees of adoption, and it would try to get like the older dogs out and all that kind of stuff. So I had all intent of rescuing a older dog that had been in the shelter for a while. We went there. It was an absurd line, and it was just like a broken system and process, and that bothered the hell out of me just from the way I act. But we went around. There's a couple dogs we weren't able to see. They got adopted before we could, and then we saw these litter of 3 puppies. It was
Nope, there were 5.
5?
Yep.
Okay.
Four girls and
4 girls and
some-
Augie.
yeah.
And Augie was a little boy, and they were named after the Wicked cast or something. His name was Fierro, his adoption name.
Yeah.
And they were just like super cute. It said German Shepherd mix. They had some kind of skin disease, heartworm.
No, ringworm.
Ringworm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God, I can't think of things today. That's why.
That's why
helps me
she's
out.
here.
Yeah. She has a better memory of us too, even though I deny it. But yeah, so we picked him up in a little towel, and he like fell asleep on my little shoulder, and I looked over and I was like, I don't know if I wanted a puppy and all that responsibility and all that kind of stuff. So the shelter person put Augie back, and I said, let me think about it. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. She's like, well, I can't like hold the puppies for you or whatever. And I said, okay. So I was talking to Roma and Supna, Roma, my sister, and they were like, no, you should do it. You've always wanted one. And they were like egging me on to do it. And I said, okay. And then I saw the person bringing back other people to see that litter of puppies.
Mhm.
And so as soon as she got there, before she said anything to the other folks, I said, I want him. Like, he's mine. And that's how I got Augie.
Yeah.
And he was just such a, like, he turned out to be the best first dog you could possibly have.
I always tell him, I was like, you got so lucky with such a even keel first dog. Just super easy to train and very food motivated, so that always helped.
Yeah. And he's just lovable. He just wants to please people. He just wants to, like, eat everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
He's just like you.
Yeah. He likes to cuddle. It's funny, we say that all the time. Like, his personality is very much like mine. And then the other one, Toddy, which we'll talk about, he's very much like Supna and like is good about setting his boundaries and stuff. And Toddy will come cuddle with me, and Augie will go cuddle with Supna now. And so it's kind of funny how that like
The
relationship
dynamic
works out.
goes.
Yeah.
But
But yeah.
Well, I
And
think
then-
Wojo's very much like me.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like,
Do you
you're
think?
the one spending time with him,
Yeah.
training him,
Yeah.
giving him his yes and no's.
Is it true that the dog owner starts to look like the dog after a while, or is the dog, or we pick out dogs that look similar to us?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know about that theory anyway.
Yeah.
Well, because if
You've
you think
never
about
seen
Jack and then Merlin,
Yeah.
like
They don't look anything.
they don't look
alike.
anything alike at all.
Yeah.
That's true.
And Jack, I got from you, from
Yeah.
from
Roma.
Roma,
Via Roma.
technically,
Via
but you
Roma.
had him.
Yeah.
And
I was his
what was
surrogate.
it? A summer break or
Yeah, it was in college.
some break
It's like
during
sophomore year or
college,
junior year? Junior year.
junior year. Yeah.
Summer break. Yeah, Roma got this puggle and named it Jack Daniel's Pizza after her favorite things at that time.
Jack Pizza.
Jack
Yep.
Pizza. And
Jack the Bear.
I don't know what happened. It got kicked out of the apartment or something, and so I ended up having him at college for like a month. But I couldn't keep the dog at college, and it's not a good
Mhm.
spot for the dog. And things I know now, I probably terrorized that dog. And so then we brought it home.
So you're to blame for all Jack's.
Probably.
Yeah, sure.
Probably.
I remember you blaming it on Roma originally. That's how I remember it.
Well,
Throwing Roma right under the bus.
I love you. Roma.
Because
You're probably
she was in St. Louis.
It
and-
wasn't her fault. I think she got the dog, and then the apartment. Some lady below complained about
Mm.
Jack barking all the time because he was a
He
puppy.
did bark a lot.
But
He
the
continued to
lady
do that
had
forever.
dogs or something like that, so didn't understand. And Roma didn't want him to be like sent away. You didn't know what they were going to do in like Louisville.
It worked out.
Yeah, it worked
He
out.
had a good life.
My mom didn't
Yeah.
want him in the house. I tried to bring him home. My dad was like all for it. My mom was like no, and I was just like, bye, I'm going back to college. And then I asked, I guess, the group of friends. And
I
she
think
was
you
like,
brought him over to my parents' house and
just to hang out or
and
something.
yeah, and just because you had him,
Yeah.
and then by the end of that hangout, I was like, yeah, I'm
I'll
taking
take
him.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Got you the crate.
I did it.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he turned into a city dog.
he was a
Yeah.
city dog for a little while.
Wow.
Lived in
Philly, right?
yeah, in my apartment at Temple.
Yeah.
But then I got busy. I had like an extra workload like the last semester of college. I had to take like a ton of credits to finish on time. So he stayed with my parents for a while.
Yeah.
He was like 2.5, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
My mom got him neutered
Oh yeah.
while she
Oh,
was
no.
watching him
Without you knowing.
without me knowing. I was so mad. I had no
Didn't you, like-
intention of getting him neutered
Yeah.
at all.
And then she
Right.
like fed him a bunch, right? Didn't he get like really big?
Well, that's probably because he got neutered at 2.5.
Right.
Like his hormones
So-
just went crazy.
Oh
And
yeah.
It's harder
makes sense.
on their bodies.
yeah,
And
it
then-
was a bad move, Mom, if you're listening. But I forgive you. It's all right. You do so much for me. It's okay. And maybe it was the right move. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say for sure. It's not. It didn't have my consent. That's for sure.
Probably not his either.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was happy about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how was Jack Pizza for you? Like what did
He was
How
a
did you
great
do?
dog. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm the opposite. Like I don't train my dogs at all. They're completely
whatever.
untrained. Like they just are because
That's a
I
form
don't.
of training.
That is.
They're just like that. Like they tend to be like pretty chill and like unobtrusive. Like most of like Jack, he could be off leash anywhere.
Mhm.
He won't come back. He wouldn't come back to me calling him to come back,
Mm.
but he could be off leash because he was just like naturally just like
calm
well
and-
behaved
mhm.
and like friendly, you know.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for him. I tried to train him off leash, but he ended up being like a runner. So
Oh, man.
I couldn't like if he was chasing a squirrel or something like that. There's just no chance I can stop him from doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Not that he would come on command anyway. I just have to be like, hey, come on, man, let's go, and then he'll come. But it's like not if we're not going somewhere. He only really listens to me if like we're heading to a new destination.
Yeah.
So he couldn't be off leash, except for in the woods. You know, I let him off leash
Yeah.
Yeah.
on hikes. And the first day I let him off leash was we were hiking up Bald Mountain, and I really wanted him to be off leash because I want him to be able to run in the woods because I feel like that's like just a
dog's
great
like-
thing for
yeah.
a dog to be able to do.
Yeah, yeah.
But he wasn't well trained. But I went on my principle of like, if he loves me, like I think he does, he would never run away anyway. So I
Yeah.
just have to trust that he's not too like careless to just like get lost. You know, I have to trust his ability to like stay within my perimeter. But it was mostly just trusting that fact, and so I let him off, and it was a great day.
That's
And ever
awesome.
since, he's been able to run around free in the woods.
Yeah.
And I think that's you hit the nail on the head of like of what training's all about, or my form of training. It's relationship building, right?
Mhm.
And we're only training as much to keep them safe, right?
Mhm.
To do things that is their safety, but we want to give them full autonomy of themselves,
Mhm.
and because there's so many choices that they can't have throughout the day or can't make. So, if you can give them a choice, you should. I think that's huge because so often they're not able to dictate when they eat, when they sleep, whatever it is, they just get tossed around, and so it's kind of nice that yours is all about relationship building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to mostly do that. I like to think like it's a mutual thing, right? They're also like it's like to me it's like kids. They're having like there are kids,
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not comparing them to full-on human babies. There's obviously differences.
Oh, it's the big difference. But
Yeah.
But like I do want mutual respect in the space for all of us.
Mhm.
And there's
Mhm.
certain things that affect me that like when they sleep in the bed and take up all the bed space, and I don't get sleep for 4 hours out of the night. But I try my hardest.
Well, it's a two-way street, right? Well, so
Yeah.
if they're being a butthole, you gotta let them know they're being a butthole and
So I'm learning.
show them
Something
something
that
better.
teaches me the better ways to do things than just like
Yelling.
yelling or getting frustrated and yelling out of frustration, which is just my family trait.
It's
Yeah.
like, well, we gotta have your nephew's approach of, well, that was weird,
Yeah.
instead of yelling.
Yeah. Just kind of like take a breath in the moment.
Yeah. And show them something
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That-
good.
That relates
Yeah.
to life too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's good. Just general
Yeah.
life, life
It's
like.
probably good with kids too.
Yeah.
As well as,
Oh, yeah.
as well as dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you and I have talked about that with like
We've touched on it.
how, like you said, it's just my family trait of just like, oh, we're just gonna
Yeah.
get frustrated about something. It's like, well, that doesn't really help.
Yeah.
That doesn't help anything.
No,
No.
it's like sometimes like we learn like what's effective, in some
Right,
cases.
that's what we were talking
And
about.
yeah, like with my dad, he could be effective.
Yeah.
And like not like he wasn't abusive or anything like that, but he was like he had like a way to just get like focused like anger
Yeah.
towards you that would get you to stop. You know what I mean? Like if you weren't supposed to do something, right?
Right.
Instead of
Right.
being, oh, you're not supposed to do that. Like he'd just be like, here's the fastest way to get that to happen,
Yeah.
and that would be to like cause like a level of fear, like a response. And when I was like beginning to parent Ava, I would like sometimes resort to similar tactics. But it didn't take long for me to be like, this isn't really like, this isn't me. This isn't
Right.
like, this is what I learned.
Right.
And I didn't like it,
Yeah.
so I don't necessarily always go for like the most,
Yeah.
I don't really care about it, efficiency, in that sense, like I think it's more important to like treat somebody like a human being.
Yeah.
You know, so or just like an individual, like relating it back to dogs, like they like even though they're not human, like they're still a being, you know,
They're still
some
sentient,
yeah,
yeah.
some level
Mhm.
of consciousness
Yeah.
is within them. So you have to like you have to respect that. And
I think we talk about that all the time. Like we see a lot of other folks like, all dogs are the same. They do this, and this is why you have to feed them at this time, and do this at
Mhm.
this time, and blah blah blah. But they're not. Every dog
Mhm.
has their own set of personalities and set of
Worries
things and
and
worries and things that make them happy and things they don't. Some like being around other dogs, some don't. I think that's always like that's one of the big things I learned from Supna was like every dog doesn't want to go to the dog park and like socialize with every single dog, right?
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
just like we don't like certain people, dogs don't like certain dogs or being around groups of
Some
dogs.
people
and
don't like
stuff.
going to the bar and hanging out with.
Exactly.
the other
Introverts
guys, like,
versus
nah,
extroverts.
Man, I'm good.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, very much so. Introverts versus extroverts, but
Yeah.
I think it all goes back to just respecting individuals or beings and as beings, you know, and having that
Tell them-
mutual respect.
yeah. Tell them a little bit about like your style of training and then also every dog, Austin.
Yeah,
Like how that works.
so mine's very positive prey, you know. It's not positive only, it's Lima, so least intrusive methods, you know, and so you really are trying to, or least invasive, I guess, trying to give them choice to be able to make good decisions or make whatever. So we do lots of treats, lots of reward-based training, so that they can have the least amount of anxiety and least amount of worry and be able to kind of go through life in this crazy world that we have. And you know, I feel like it's also the most evidence-based. So it's interesting because the dog training world's unregulated, and so we're really trying to push for that, because you see things like prong collars and shock collars all the time. And if you go back to the idea of respect, right, I don't think shock collars and prong collars are the best way to do things.
Yeah, it's not the most respectful thing.
They're
to
most
do.
respectful thing, right? So, and because they don't know, I mean, by all means, if it worked, right, then whatever. But the evidence it shows it doesn't work. It just causes them unnecessary pain. So we're trying to combat that with this organization we work with. It's called Every Dog Austin. Shout out to them. But we're trying to be inclusive, trying to ensure that dogs don't get behavioral euthanasia unnecessarily, by providing low cost or free training that's positive reinforcement to anybody that needs it in the community, because so often large populations of people that own dogs, they don't have the necessary tools or the means to get the latest and greatest info.
Yeah.
So
Especially there in
Mhm.
Austin. I mean, it's gotten, it is big. It's gotten
Yeah.
big, and which means there's a lot of dogs there.
Ye-
You know, like there's a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
people. There's a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
And we're just known for being a dog city, right?
Yeah.
Bring your dog here, bring your dog to the coffee shop, bring your dog to the store, like.
It's like one of the top 10 cities in the U.S. I think to like be a pet owner.
Mm-hmm.
Like not only dogs, I think all kinds of pets.
People will throw fits in the streets if they can't bring their dog to
Yeah.
such and such, you know. So, when saying that, I think that there is a need for our services, at least, to be able to give people the understanding that about your dog. Like, I don't know, like Merlin sitting here, maybe he wouldn't like to be in a concert filled with like 50,000 people, and maybe he would, you know. But you know,
he knows what he likes.
he's not an accessory, right? I think a lot of people think
Yeah.
dogs are an accessory, right? And that's just not it. Dogs have their own choices, and you lugging them around, but they're not having the best time and freaking out, and then them being reprimanded for freaking out,
Yeah.
you know, when they're having a full-blown anxiety attack. I don't know.
It's like, yeah, man, you brought me here. I could have told you that was gonna happen by me showing up.
Yeah.
But, I'm excited about working with this organization because I think that there needs to be more light on trying to be inclusive everywhere we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just a buzzword right now.
Yeah, exactly. But really,
Diversity and
but
inclusion.
really walking the walk.
And equity.
Yeah.
But actually doing it,
Mhm.
sustaining it.
Yep.
What about Wojo?
Yeah.
What about?
I'm asking you questions.
Yeah.
now.
What about
Alright.
Wojo? What is he
tell
like?
Us, tell us Wojo's story and
Yeah.
your story with
He's
him.
pretty chill. I mean,
Yeah.
I got him in 2010, and so he's getting up there.
Where'd you find him? What's his story?
The full story is my great aunt had a boxer, and my great grandmother was gonna go live with my great aunt, but she couldn't have the dog there.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, if they get rid of Zoe, we were gonna take Zoe, which opened the door for, oh, we could get a dog. That's the way I heard that story. It's like, oh, we could get a dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I started going to the Griffin Pond Humane Society,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just taking dogs out. They have a little play area, so you like leash them up, walk out,
Yeah.
let them off, and they'll just kind of wander or do whatever. And I remember his name was Prince. We probably could have kept the name.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the prince of the house.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I took him out. I let him off the leash. He like walked around in the play area. He peed on something, and he literally just sat down, closed his eyes, and faced the sun, and just started smelling the air. And I was like,
That's my
"You're
dog.
coming home.
Yes.
Let's go."
He still
That's my
does that.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll literally just go outside and just like,
Does
"Oh,
he like
this is
frog
awesome."
dog, where he just like lays.
Yeah, he
with
does the
his
frog
legs.
dog.
The
Yeah.
splooning. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just sit there and just be like, fresh air. I'm like, all right, cool. But then I had to convince my parents to get a pit bull. And they were like, no way we are getting a pit bull. Like, my dad
Yeah.
was not having that whole thought.
That was before pit bulls and Pearlies, huh? Changed the
Yeah, right.
minds of everybody.
Yeah, no, this was well before that. And well, it was funny because I ended up leaving for 5 years where I wasn't even here. So it turned into my dad and mom's dog, mostly my dad's dog.
Yeah.
Like, they are best friends.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Like, my dad.
They went on like walks all the time together, right?
No, yeah, they still. I mean, Wojo still gets walked a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think personality-wise, I mean, I think we got very lucky because he's very non-aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some things that whoever had him before, like, kind of screwed him up. Because even if you still go to, like I've had him for a decade, and I'll still just, like, naturally, like, oh, try and go and pet his head, and he dodges that shit so fast. He's just like, oh, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Don't touch me.
Pet me with your eyes.
Yeah. That's what we say about Toddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good though. I mean, and even taking him out, like other dogs, you walk through the neighborhood, dogs bark. He doesn't even look at them.
Hmm.
He's just like, I don't care.
It's fine. Yeah.
He's
I'm
like,
here
I'm
with
gonna
my
go
people."
extra slow right now, just to piss you off.
That's
like-
awesome.
But yeah, and like even like other dogs have not gone after him, but have been aggressive, and he's just like, ugh,
No.
just stop.
I can't stand. Yeah. What are
Yeah.
you even doing right now?
Yeah. And I think the other thing is they're generally like even like Jack. Jack did not like him at all.
I don't know.
They didn't get along. Jack didn't get along. He didn't get along that well with other dogs in general. I don't think.
Yeah.
But the
Honestly, now
reality
that I
of the
think about it.
situation was Wojo could have eaten Jack
Yeah.
very quickly. Like when Jack was getting older and Wojo was in his prime. It's
Yeah.
like, Jack, what are you doing? You're an
Yeah.
idiot. Like,
Yeah.
you're,
It's a small
you're
dog syndrome.
you're playing with
Yeah,
fire here,
little,
bud.
little man syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we were lucky is that he, towards a lot of most dogs that he's ever encountered, he has not done anything, and some of them have been aggressive towards him. And
Yeah.
like he's never actually like gone
Just
after
kinda
another dog.
Turned his head away.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of playing though.
Yeah.
He's played it
Yeah.
with a lot of dogs, and yeah, they generally get along.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, he was pretty chill dog,
Yeah.
There
and he
you go.
never
It's like
barks. Thank God.
Yeah, that's great.
That
Yeah.
is nice.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
that's-
bark much either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Like,
when
not
he barks,
randomly.
you're like, literally
That's very
everyone in the
rare.
house runs
Like,
Yeah,
what is
what's
going on?
happening?
with a machete, like ready. Like, what's going on?
We're
Who's
ready.
messing with Wojo?
Yeah.
So he literally never barks.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a
It's
once in a
very
blue
rare.
moon.
Yeah, he used to bark a little bit when I would come home super late. Like I could hear him growling upstairs. But then I'd be like, "Whoa, Joe, it's me. Shut up."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
cool.
All right.
Is this you? All right.
You got home late again, Zach.
Yeah. I'm just doing my job. Thanks. Yeah.
But now anyone could walk in the house. He's just like laying there, like,
Yeah.
"What's up?"
He's
Like,
retired.
Ready
Yeah,
to
right.
chill, yeah. Retired from his job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I made it
Augie's-
this far.
Augie's the same way. He's like super playful, lovable, doesn't bark.
He's
or-
learned from
but he's learned
Todd.
from Todd. So
He's-
Todd we got. Yeah, did we talk about Todd?
No.
No.
Toddy we got as a pandemic dog, COVID dog. But I mean, I think we always wanted 2 dogs. Get
Mhm.
like another like playmate for Augie, maybe. But we also wanted to like adopt a dog that like was in the foster system for a while or misunderstood or whatever, you know.
Passed over.
Especially in Texas where there's still a lot of like kill shelters. And
There's just so many dogs in Texas as well.
Yeah.
Because they're all constantly being transported up north because there's just so many down here.
Yeah, down in Texas
Yeah.
and Louisiana too.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, is that like the part of Texas, or is it just Texas in general?
I'd say more of the border towns and
Mhm.
Texas, and it's just this. I feel like it's the South. It's like it's a
general
very
southern thing, yeah.
southern thing where, they're out in literal the middle of nowhere, and
And then
because
they
of
have
that, they just don't take care of their dogs and
Yeah.
don't watch them, if they're unneutered, and so
Mm.
lots of puppies
I was gonna
exist.
say, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I think both Augie and Todd were found with their siblings just abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And,
There's a
like,
lot of
it's-
dumpster dogs.
Yeah, yeah. It's usually just puppies that like they can't take care of, and so they just leave them wherever,
Mm-hmm.
which is sad. But yeah. And Todd and his sister, we found out their backstory. They like, Todd was pretty reactive. Like, they're probably traumatized, like 8-week-old puppies, no idea about anything in the world.
Mm-hmm. Don't
And-
have their mom to learn from either.
Yeah,
Mhm.
taken away from their mom. I think her sister too was reactive at the time, and so they went to some kill shelter in Lockhart, Texas. And those people, it's not necessarily their fault either. They're not trained for like behavioral,
Dogs,
specialty and
yeah.
dogs
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But those, Todd and his sister were like getting also reactive towards the other dogs. So they had to put them separate in like a closet, like a storage closet somewhere,
Just to
to calm down
it's like-
every other dog that was in there.
put him in solitary.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And
yeah.
then Austin Pets Alive, which is a no-kill rescue, adopted them. They
Or
tend
took
to
them in,
adopt
yeah.
puppies for sure, and then try to adopt any other dogs
Mhm.
that like the kill
Especially
shelters
the
have.
behavioral puppies, because those are always going to be the first to be put down.
Yeah,
So they're always try to give them a chance. Yeah.
yeah. They separated them. His sister ended up like quickly not being as aggressive. Seems like she was more triggered from Todd and like reacting the way he was, and got adopted and has been thriving from what they know. But Todd, I guess, was in foster and then like had a couple failed adoptions and just, he was super cute. So like you would think someone would adopt him, but for like a year or so.
Yeah, and just to give a description,
Yeah.
he's like chocolate brown Chihuahua with really long legs. So super cute, lots of
20
interest.
pounds.
20 pounds. I guess most people would consider that the perfect size to tote around or whatever. But so we had plenty of interest, right?
Yeah, but APA was good about being like, no, we need to find like the right people that would actually help him with some of the behavioral things. Is what we found out is general anxiety and all that kind of stuff. And so we sat there and we brought Augie. And I'm gonna put my mic to my face
And keep it there.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. So.
Talk,
so
talk
so
with one hand.
use your left hand,
I
right?
know. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. But anyway, so we went through the whole adoption process. They loved us. We thought Toddy was perfect for our home, and we brought him home and had him for like a year. And it's like been a really interesting experience about learning about dog training, learning about behavioral dogs,
Learning
with
about
our-
body language of dogs.
Yeah, learning about body language, relating and helping with like our own anxiety and like stress and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And like now he's like his like little saucy personality comes out and it's really cute. He barks all the time at like the door or whatever, But it's usually just because he's like, hey, who's there? What's going on? Like, why are you coming into my space? And, he just like twirls around in little circles when he's happy, and he like started jumping up on us. And so to see like the progression was really rewarding as well, of just like,
A completely shut down
they were
dog.
going to kill this puppy because he had behavioral issues, But really it was just because he wasn't given a chance to express himself and learn how to like cope with his own type of anxiety in a healthy environment or a healthier way.
Or be given a chance to be different, right? And not just the one way that people expect dogs to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He wasn't exactly the playmate that Augie was hoping for. So Augie was like, really, you brought this home? But they've grown to like
love each other.
and respect each other. It's really cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Todd rules the house. End of story. Yeah.
Yeah, back to your like the small dog thing, like how you were talking about Jack or whatever. Todd in our house like rules the house. Like Augie submits completely to him, even though Augie's 67 pounds and like could probably
eat him
Todd.
if he really had,
But
but Todd is very
rules
good
it.
about his boundaries.
He could also be a prince if you wanted.
So. Yeah, but that, I guess, COVID did me in and made me a full-blown dog trainer. So here I am, getting certified.
Yeah. And now I'm like, I want 20 dogs. I want to buy a ranch.
Get a ranch.
And
Yeah.
like save all the animals. With Supna. That's what I want to do. Or in
Right.
Pennsylvania.
Part of my dog training is that I have to train another species. So I really want to get chickens. So I think that would be really fun.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind of cool.
interesting.
You can actually train chickens, and they all have their own little like personalities. You
Yeah.
guys know that?
And you get
Mhm.
eggs.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
2 for 1.
Yeah.
You build that relationship with them.
I guess that's a smart option because my mind initially went horse.
Mm.
I was like, that's a big animal.
If you're really ambitious, like you pick a cat.
Oh man.
I wonder if they're trainable. I mean, I'm sure they are to some degree.
You can toilet
train
train them. Did you know?
Really?
Did you know that? Well, meet the parents, right?
Oh, yeah. I didn't take that
Oh,
as
that's
like
true.
factual.
Yeah.
No, you can
No,
really
it's
do
real.
that.
I looked into it with our cats.
Yeah.
They, like basically you get this thing that goes on the toilet. It's like a, I don't know, like a grate or whatever, but you put some of their litter in it, so
Oh,
they
wow.
get up there and they pee in that first, and then eventually you just take that away, and then they just sit on the toilet and pee.
There
That's
you
pretty
go.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog?
I don't know if they poop.
I'm-
They poop too. But
Could
maybe.
we train the dogs to do that? I don't know.
I don't
mean,
think they're. They don't have like the dexterity of
To-
cat. You know,
Yeah.
the cats can like jump up on anything and
Mhm.
like balance,
true.
and the dogs are like they'll slip and fall in the toilet.
You'd
we
need,
were
like,
in
a
India.
whole rig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Platform.
They'd have to have their own toilet.
Yeah. If we were in India and we had the Eastern toilets
Yeah.
that are in the
It's a hole-
floor,
it's just a hole in
That
the
would
ground.
work.
that would
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
That could work.
Might be
But-
onto something.
Yeah,
But
there we go.
don't your dogs like walk around a little bit while they poop, or no?
Oh
Like, so
yes.
he gets into the
Oh,
position
yeah.
and then he starts to like
just
you know,
waddle.
it's like waddling
Oh, he
around
does.
in
He
circles
He
or
just
whatever.
leaves an entire trail.
Yeah.
Yes,
That would be
the most
hard to.
annoying
That'd
thing
be
ever.
hard to compensate for with a dog toilet. It'd have to
Around,
be
like, yeah.
like a little stream or something.
Trough.
A trough that they
The
they could just
plumbing-
like
the
waddle
plumbing
around
pipe
in.
Just exposing, cutting in half.
And
Yeah,
just keep
exactly.
going,
Yeah.
Water running through.
And then then there's like side channels that,
Yeah.
that run water down the slopes.
Yep.
We
Yep.
could invent one and
Yeah.
sell it in Austin.
There
I mean,
you
there
go.
was a side thought, but I always wanted to build a house that had like a river running through it.
Ah, that'd be cool. A real river.
Just
let your.
shit in the river.
I was
Shit in
gonna
the
say.
river.
you're
Everyone's
gonna let
just
the-
shitting
I
in
mean,
the river.
Augie has before.
And
He would be
now
used to
you're
it.
gonna start. you and Augie right next to each other.
Hey, buddy.
It's not
They do?
supposed to. Yeah. He also pooped into the ocean.
In the ocean. Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is about that dog and water,
The water's-
but as soon as he feels it on
soothes him.
his ankles, it's just
It suits him.
instant.
He poops right
he
away.
just
Yeah.
he just has to go, and
That's
we're
hilarious.
like, oh,
Dude, that's the worst spot.
yes,
went to,
please
like,
don't do that.
Port Aransas, yeah, and he was loving it. And then he just started like doing his usual pacing back and forth. And I was like, oh no, don't do it, you know? And then there he went. I tried running to go get it, but, waves and stuff. And so
Yeah.
And of
Oh,
course,
it's-
everyone was swimming, so we're like, move out the
her
way.
nephew, yeah, her nephews were like in there, and we're like, move left. We didn't want to
Go
yell,
up
like,
current.
there's poop in the water.
There's a shark.
Yeah, just kidding. It was.
It was poop.
I feel like people would be more inclined to stay in if it was a shark than if it was poop.
Yeah.
I bet you if you said poop, people would be like, Get
I'm
the
out.
shit out of here.
it might
Yeah.
be equal. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Maybe.
I don't know if you could.
People would
nothing,
get out.
nothing like shark in the water is
Well,
like
shark in the water.
that's
That's
extreme.
Yeah, yeah.
That's extreme. Yeah, people would get out.
It's probably equal. Like the same amount of people would be like
Poop in the water.
Yeah.
People would just
Leave.
disperse.
They might disperse. Yeah.
It'd be more
They're
dispersing.
like, where is it? Like,
I did
Where
one
do
of
I
those
need to
things
go?
where you're like, you put your head down like so no one could see me. You know, you think like I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry.
But, like,
Disappointed
Sorry for my
parent.
dog, yeah.
But think about all of the other crap, literally and figuratively, that's in the
I
ocean.
know.
Like,
yeah, it makes no difference.
I know.
that'll degrade.
Yeah. It's just like
It's already gone.
You zone in on that moment, and then when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, never mind. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, there was like a point in time where New York City was pumping all of their sewage into the ocean. You know, like
Oh,
at some
man.
point, you know, like in the 1900s or
Oh, yeah.
before they did like the water treatment plants.
I
Mhm.
think everybody.
They
did,
were,
right?
but like New York City was dumping like
I mean, there's a lot of people.
1 billion gallons a day of sewage. Like it was like some ridiculous number.
Yeah.
And the ocean, like people were still like swimming in Jersey.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I don't know if like poop would float by every
I'm
now and then
sure
or
they
something.
Oh, I
I'm sure it
guarantee
would.
it.
Ugh. It's so gross.
Well, it's funny now that New York City has like the cleanest water in the U.S.
Yeah, good for them for cleaning
Maybe
up
in the
their
world.
act.
Yeah.
Yeah, they figured it out.
I would hope they made some advancements.
They
in the
better.
1900s.
It's not even like good. Like it's like, yeah, that's what we expect. Like
Yeah.
you can't just all congregate in one spot and fuck everything up around you. Like you have to figure out how to take care of your stuff without everyone else swimming in your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just general expectations we should have of cities, not like, oh, good for them, they're the
This is
best.
how society is. Yeah.
No, like you just did the bare minimum and like stop shitting on everybody.
Yes. Please don't shit where you eat. That's all we ask.
There you go.
It is a big task to figure out though. So I guess
Yeah.
we should give the props.
And I think they're still figuring it out because even now, in our water systems, they do tests of, and they find remnants of people's anti-anxiety meds that are affecting the fish
Mhm.
and the fish populations, and versus
They're just like
versus
too
the-
chill and like they're
Yeah.
not fucking,
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
don't have babies.
Oh, you heard about that too?
No,
huh?
I just made
Oh,
that up.
No, but they
But
kind
that
of.
sounds about
But
right.
it's true. Like they just or they act erratically.
Right.
That they don't act because
they
because
ran
of all
out.
our meds that we're
Yeah.
just
Or they're
pooping
not
out.
getting they're not getting enough of the meds. Like once they get the
Once
meds,
they're on them.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought they were like flushing the pills down the toilet.
No,
this
it's
is, like,
because of
processed
us
through
Oh,
the
it's
through
through
our
the
body,
urine,
through our
or
stuff.
like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
feces or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep. And so,
Oh, I
people-
always
Or-
thought it was
or
the same
people's-
thing. I was
or-
like, why are people like
Yeah,
just
how many
flushing
people are
so many
flushing pills
medications
down
down?
No.
That makes way more sense.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so they still got to figure that out and figure out how to help the fish population because yeah.
that's a weird concept to think about. The fact that they might have to put other stuff in the water
to
for the fish.
Like Narcan.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like the fish are real fucked up on heroin. Like, they're all croaking. Like send in some Narcan. Just like throwing.
There's a weird divide
That's
between like the humans and fish though in general. Like it's probably hard. Like it got bad because mostly people are just like, well, who gives a shit about fish? They're
Yeah.
just like
Right.
weird things in the ocean.
Yeah.
But like,
It's like
Yeah.
the
It
whole-
goes
I
back
think
to
there's a
respect,
documentary-
right?
Yes,
That
exactly,
Everything
it's just
f's up
life.
if you don't respect things.
Yeah.
So
plus there's a balance. Yeah, there's a balance to it
Mhm.
all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like eventually it'll come back.
Yeah. I think we're way past that balance.
Maybe.
We need some work.
yeah,
Yeah.
We gotta do some work.
we got some work. Start small, like I don't know, doctors.
Like dog training.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
Like-
be
Do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do,
composting
it's a
your own
great-
poop so it doesn't go into the.
compost.
Ocean.
Oh, compost toilets.
You could do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could do that.
But then you're just directly affecting yourself if you take anti-anxiety meds, because then you're just going to put it into your own food.
Ah,
Well, then maybe
Well, then
just
you would need
lessen the
less.
to the
amount.
soil.
Well, then, yeah, but
And
then
you would
yeah,
need
but
less.
then he would need less, and then eventually it would all balance out, and he would just be like
Yeah.
taking
Anti-anxiety cucumbers.
just
Some special anti-anxiety
Anxiety cucumbers.
That's what I'm gonna put on the flower beds now.
And all the dillo dirt,
Yeah.
It's all in our dillo dirt.
It's all in there.
Oh man.
I can't leave my house because this is where I'm the most calm.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
No.
It's not fun.
No.
nah.
I think yeah.
Yeah, after this wet year and a half,
The
I
last
think
year
everyone,
and a half too. Yeah. A
I
lot
think
of people
everyone
did that.
experimented, and they said, "Nah."
I do. I like, I used to be a very sociable person and go out and do all that kind of stuff and not like, I think I mean, maybe this was a bad way of introducing back into society after the pandemic or whatever, but I went to like a football game, like
Mhm.
20,000 people at
What kind-
Austin
wait.
FC's game.
Okay.
What kind?
Soccer.
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 Football.
Football.
Not American football. Real football, apparently.
I knew the answer to that, but I just
I know.
figured if
I know.
someone was listening, they'd be like,
Yeah.
Wait, which town?
"What football game was going on?" Right
In Austin.
The football
yeah.
where you kick the ball with your foot a lot.
It might be the
Yeah.
Austin Bills.
It might be. I
Oh,
heard that.
yeah.
I heard that today.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting because I don't know if everyone already has their set, like American football
I think
teams.
I mean, but Bills have such like a strong
Bills
fan
Mafia.
following. Yeah. Like,
Really?
That'll
Yeah, the
be
Bills Mafia. I
that'll
mean,
be
there's
interesting
people-
to see. I mean, they've done it before, right? They've moved teams before.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Oakland
Yeah.
is moving to Vegas and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
But
Back to why you brought it up.
oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, I like
Because if we start talking about sports, I'm
Wait,
gonna
we're
fall
not-
asleep or I'm
literally
gonna
almost
go
had a panic
to the
attack.
bathroom.
Yeah, I like literally almost had a panic attack seeing all these people in one place
Mm.
and like didn't know what to do with my hands. Like, almost shut down. And then we went to like just a side part where we watched a concert and stuff and from a distance and it was fine. But yeah, it was like interesting. And like now I'm like over scheduling things I want to do, you
Mhm.
know, because like I feel like I need to catch up with everybody and all these people and stuff. And then like I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. I liked having my own personal time and like reflecting and stuff. It was
Balance.
interesting. So I'm like still trying to find that balance now of like what my new normal is. So I don't know where that came from, but it was
Pandemic.
yeah. I
Yeah,
feel
Being in
you.
your house.
all of the
Yeah.
all of the
Just-
social anxiety that most people are feeling.
Which is
'cause-
probably why like a lot of my ideas are like finding a ranch or land. I don't like being by
Just
ourselves
be-
for a
I'm just
while.
gonna go into the woods and not talk to anyone.
yeah,
It's very appealing.
Yeah.
it is.
Not
it
gonna
is.
lie.
I watched this movie called Pig with Nicolas Cage. I thought it was
Of course, it was Nicholas.
yeah.
Cage.
Mhm.
But listen, it was actually really really good. But it was a chef in Portland, Oregon, and
He was a chef.
he used to be or whatever. That was the premise, and then he
Okay.
went out into the woods, and he just he had this one truffle pig that would find all the truffles, and he
Oh,
would
yeah.
sell the truffles out. But I
Nice.
don't know. I was like, I connected. I was like, maybe I should go live in the woods and have a truffle pig and just be very simplistic.
Into the wild.
Yeah, I've been watching like just everything I've watched and seen so far has been like escapism almost from
Yeah.
society.
I think it's
So-
just like a connection to nature.
Yeah.
When I think that was one of the few things we could do during the pandemic was like,
Yeah.
well, we could just go outside. Can't be around anyone, but we could go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, there's nature. Like the world's not on fire.
Yeah.
It seems like the world's on fire right now, but it's not really on fire.
Right.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was lucky because I worked in the golf industry, and that was the first thing that opened up.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you want to go golf? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Okay. Well, I guess
Yeah.
I'm working.
Well, a lot of politicians golf, so
True that.
That's true.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it worked out in my favor.
Coincidental? Probably.
I
not.
was busy.
Yeah.
I did not.
You never stopped.
Yeah. Well, I just went back to my like normal winter activity of just like hanging out here, and
Mm-hmm.
chilling. And I went back to work for like a week and a half, and then I was like, country shut down. I was like, all right. And then it was only for like maybe a month that I was really here.
Yeah.
And then I started going back right back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for someone that's like pretty antisocial at times, I had to be very social. When everyone else was like, oh, I don't have to go see anyone.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
You were the most social.
I was probably the most social, and it was good though. I needed to be.
Yeah.
I got my extra pandemic time before it.
Yeah.
I pre-did the.
You pre-did the
Yeah.
quarantine.
I was like, I'm just not gonna leave my house for like 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anxiety only.
Little agoraphobia
Yeah.
type of
full on.
situation.
Yeah.
It was-
Wait, what is that? What's that one? What phobia is
It's
that?
like fear of fear,
fear of fear.
like fear of having a
Going
panic
out,
attack.
Yeah.
Got it.
Generally,
It's
yeah.
not just
Generally
like
keeps people
having a
from
panic
going
attack.
out.
It's
the
like
fear
a,
of getting like
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the fear of having one.
yeah.
Been there. Definitely been there before. Then you
Yeah.
just sit in your room and then you have the panic attack anyways and you're like, well, this was pointless. So
Yeah. Actually, it was funny because I had one in this house, and it was the worst one.
Oh,
Mm.
no.
And I was like, oh no, my safe spot's gone.
Yeah, my safe zone.
There is no safety.
No.
Yeah,
But it was good. It broke the illusion.
that's true.
I needed it to happen here, and it like broke the illusion. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess nowhere's safe or everywhere's safe. One of those two is true.
Both is true.
Or both. Yeah,
Yes,
right.
both is
Or both of those things are true.
Yeah.
Yes, they're both true.
Right. And then it kind of like, since then, I've been expanding like slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly expanding. And James usually gets a text when I
Yeah.
go somewhere new and
I don't know if I'm the first to know, but I usually know when it happens.
Usually Amy's with me.
Okay, so I'm
so
the second to know.
You and Oliver sometimes get
Cool.
the text.
There's like second person.
Yeah. Like I went to Wilkes-Barre.
Oh well,
That was a big one.
that is a big one.
Yeah.
And then I sat in the car for 5 hours by myself.
Yeah.
I was just like, I got nothing to do. So I listened to some podcasts.
Nice.
Nice.
So just like driving out there, like just getting out and going somewhere
Mm-hmm.
and just sitting there.
Well, he was taking Amy somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to take Amy to the VA.
Gotcha.
So I actually had something to do.
There
Okay.
you go.
And then I had nothing to do for a while. Then I had something to do. I took the back way home, which was cool. I haven't
Yeah.
been over there. And
Which way did you go?
takes you by the Susquehanna, like
Yeah.
Coxton Road,
Okay.
Pittston, Main Ave, Pittston, and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
From like Pittston to Ransom
Yeah,
Nice.
along the
Oh, that's
river.
really- yeah, that's
It's a nice
really
ride.
yeah.
My
that
uncle,
road
my uncle lives up
sucks.
there.
Like pavement wise.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's brutal.
There's so many of those around here.
Every road sucks.
Aren't all Pennsylvania roads terrible?
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
roads deserve a break.
Stop giving him such a hard time. I don't even know how to respond.
All roads. Yeah.
All right. Layton's good right now. It was just paved. Good job, Layton Road. Shout out to
True.
Layton Road.
There was another one that was just paved, and I was like, oh, good for them.
I was on a road the other day that I was like, this road shouldn't be this bad. This is atrocious.
Yeah.
I felt like my
That's
car
like-
was going to fall apart.
Yeah, that's like every road.
Yeah, there's
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
if,
them.
like,
But this
you
one,
have
like,
bad
most of the
roads,
time you
it's just like-
expect it.
Oh, Texas is
No.
well because a lot of it's privatized.
Mhm.
So
Well, and they're not dealing with freezing
right.
weather.
Yeah,
As
ever.
much. It's more
As much.
It's more yeah.
Except
yeah.
for this February where we, yeah.
Jesus Christ, nobody knew what to do. That was crazy. Never experienced something like that in my life. Well, maybe close up here, but
Usually up here, it's like because you're buried,
yeah.
you know, and then everyone knows what to do anyway.
Right.
It just takes a lot
It's
longer to
normal.
happen.
Yeah, it's like a normalized. Okay.
You don't have, you have more than one snow truck,
Yeah.
snow shovel, and then it doesn't crash,
Yeah,
the
they
one.
had like salt, and it lasted maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
because there was just
And then this,
You don't
was
have,
it
like,
the salt
silos
truck
of it.
or was it?
and
was
then
it
it crashed. Yeah, they had a plow.
a
They had
plow? Yeah, we had one
Oh,
plow,
plow.
and then it crashed.
And then it crashed.
That's so
It was out of
ridiculous.
commission
Yeah.
for, like,
So then
3
we were
weeks.
just done.
So we were done.
I had that not that exact thing, but I went to school in North Carolina,
Yeah.
and we would occasionally get snow there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it wasn't anything too crazy. But one time we got like a pretty decent amount of snow, and it was in the morning, and I was like, oh, I gotta go to the store. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm fine. I know I could drive in this, and this is not an issue. Everyone else that's from there, like, they're terrible at driving in it. But I was driving, and it's a 4-lane road, 2 one way, 2 the other, and the plow trucks were coming at me, and they were pushing the snow onto my side of the road. And I was
no.
like, we aren't going to have school for a month. Like, they just keep pushing the snow back and forth on the same road.
Oh, no.
I was like, this is perfect. Like,
Amateurs.
yeah, I was like, like, hey, guys.
Push it to
push
the
it
side.
Push it out. You got to push
Oh,
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's so smart.
Good idea.
Yeah.
These-
No, yeah, Texas is pretty good because it's all privatized. It's concrete mostly
Mm-hmm.
places. What you do have to worry about, because it's so flat, they don't think about drainage as much.
Mm.
So
Oh,
the
that's true.
flooding.
And then the oil, because it's so hot or whatever, so when it rains, it brings up all the oil from if it is like pavement or whatever, asphalt or whatever.
Get a lot of hydroplaning.
Yeah, you slide so much more.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
crazy. It's like
Hmm.
ice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
I've had a lot
Trade
of,
some
of,
things.
of my friends, get into accidents because of just hydroplaning. They're just literally driving, not erratically or anything. It's just whoof,
and then there's like 20 times more pickup trucks that
Yep.
think they own the land.
the road. Yeah.
But
There's a lot here, too. We've gotten a lot more pickup trucks, I feel like, lately.
yeah.
In the last,
Yeah.
like, decade.
Yeah.
With-
I'm one of them.
Yeah, but I think
But you have a functional purpose for your pickup.
No, a lot of,
Sorta.
like, the driller.
An occasional need work-wise.
Okay.
But like, if I could like just get a pickup truck like when I needed one. I'd rather just drive a regular car.
Yeah.
But it's like you gotta have it when you need it.
Yeah.
So
Yep. There's a lot of stuff down here that's gonna move soon, so we're gonna need it.
Hey. Plug.
I like restoring pickup
I'll help.
trucks.
I like
Those are
helping,
fun.
Oh yeah, sometimes.
but
it's
I won't help.
pickup trucks.
Oh, I won't over help. I'll just help what I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Now we're
All right.
I'm not skipping over this whole thing of restoring a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
I know-
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
I used
Thanks.
to do that in college. I used to restore old pickup trucks, old Chevys, especially. So I had a boyfriend, and of course. So that's what we did in our free time. Is we just took old pickup trucks that weren't functioning and redid it from, bumper to bumper, and took them to hot rod things. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was pretty fun.
Jetpack.
Was that the kicker?
One of them.
Yeah. Like,
One of
what?
the
You
immediate
did
I
what?
levels. Yes. You restore cars and vehicles. I don't
Yeah,
need to know
it was a
Heaven
good time.
sent.
It's a good time. I don't know.
What was it? Chevy C10, right?
Yeah, 1971. C10. Yeah,
Pretty cars.
they were pretty long beds.
Yeah, they go super expensive now though.
But yeah.
But
Yeah.
most people use them for like making them into like lowriders now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I
There's
for-
a whole show in Austin about that.
Forgot what they call it when they keep like the rust on them and keep them.
Like a-
Tina.
No,
like
no,
a rat
the
rod?
rat rods.
Oh,
Yeah,
rat rods.
that's what he. That's what we would make as rat rods.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, and then we just go to rat rod shows and
Hell
Isn't it?
yeah.
It's called patina, right? Where
you
you keep the rust.
you would just keep all
Yeah,
of the
no.
parts, and you wouldn't try to make it flashy or dance. You just wanted it to run,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you just show how the wear and tear happened, and it was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
a goal of mine, is to build a car.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a very big goal of
I
mine.
remember you talking about that for a while.
I've done a motorcycle,
I know. You did that.
69 Honda.
You don't have
Mm.
you don't have them anymore,
CL
right?
350.
You
No,
got rid of them
my
all.
it's still in the family. Like my cousin has the bike.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it was just sitting here, and I wasn't gonna do anything with it. Like I never put brakes on it.
Yeah.
Well, fully functioning brakes, and
Right.
my dad did a lot of the my dad fixed the carburetor
Yeah.
and did the electrical stuff to make it functional
Mhm.
in that sense. And then I just bought a regular motorcycle,
Yeah.
which I've
The
sold.
Ninja. Yeah.
Yeah, my little Ninja.
The little Ninja. That thing was sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So what would your car be? to
If I was
restore?
gonna build one,
Yeah. Or would it be like a Zach special?
I think I want to do a couple.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I would do. Yeah, I would definitely want a rat rod, and I want something like dropped, like chopped.
Yeah.
Just like
Those like really low.
yeah,
roof
I want
lines,
something
yeah.
like that, really, really rusted
Yeah.
and just gnarly looking
Yeah.
with
The side exhaust fire.
yeah,
coming
exactly.
Out. Yeah.
100% like yeah, I have like, the one that has like the really big fat tires in the back and then
Yep.
the small ones in the front.
Yep.
Like yeah, just
Yeah.
actually I don't know about the small ones in the front, but definitely big ones in the back.
But like bigger wheel size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give it that good stance, and then I really like. I wouldn't necessarily build it, but I like the idea of, like the wide body Charger,
Yeah.
those SRTs.
Yeah.
Like just customizing that vehicle, I think would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's my issue. Is like I don't really like any car.
Yeah.
I'd like any car is cool to me on
Yeah.
some level. It's like, well, I just want to customize it.
Yeah.
So like, just give me like a dirt cheap car. Like I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. Have you thought about like conversion vans, like converting vans,
Mm-hmm.
where you do like those Dodge Rams or whatever?
No,
Or
yeah, those are
schoolies.
What?
Or schoolies. Where you,
yeah, I guess schoolies.
yeah.
We have a schoolie guest coming on,
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Albert.
cool. When's he actually gonna show up?
Maybe Rochelle with him.
He was supposed to be like number 2
Yeah,
or 3.
he got cold feet.
Yeah, I know.
He got cozy.
Nah, I think he was too busy, but he should be coming on after I get back from the beach.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I helped them build a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, the more like house like components.
Yeah.
I wasn't involved at all in like the mechanical aspect of
Yeah,
it, but
yeah.
yeah,
I
it was
always
pretty
had-
fun.
I had a desire to do like an electric conversion. So like take, especially like cars that shouldn't be electric, like our 2004 Toyota Sequoia
Mhm.
that currently gets like 10 miles to the gallon, and make it like a full-on like Tesla electric, but that can still haul all our stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Is that a
So-
possibility?
Yeah,
The new
that
F-150.
people do
Anything's
that?
possible.
Right?
Do people do that,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
would you be the first?
The frunk.
anything's
Yeah.
The new
possible.
F-150's got a frunk.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, the F-150 Lightning.
hmm
Um,
and can generate your house.
The F-150.
They have built-in
I heard.
generators.
I was looking at mostly the gas mileage when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
It's not good enough to warrant it to me. I mean, although it's pretty
The
cheap.
electric
though. I mean,
ones or the hybrids, or which ones were you?
they haven't
looking
the full. Was it full electric or no? I think it was hybrid. They have a full electric.
at? They're coming out with the full electric.
I think I might.
Next
They came
year.
out with the Mach-E, right?
Oh, next
The full
year.
The Mustang Mach-E.
That's interesting. I would be
Yeah.
interested in a full electric truck.
But that F-150 is cool, yeah, because the front is a frunk. They have, and you can get these in the hybrid.
Front trunk.
I figured it out.
Okay.
It took me a second.
You looked a little confused.
I
so
was for a
figured it out.
moment. I was like,
Yeah.
"What? Frunk? Can you
Towing
please
capacity
explain?
and hauling capacity is more because you get all the torque from
Yeah.
the electric power.
Yeah, you can't get more power than
Yeah.
that
I mean,
out of a gas
and then
engine.
yeah, they have built-in generators, and the electric one you can power like a 10,000 watt generator,
Wow.
and you can have it plug into the house. And they've been selling that in Texas ever since the freeze. Like, you can get them on their current line with like hybrids and even the
Yeah.
gas-powered ones.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. Like,
that's pretty cool.
They thought about like everything you can do in the truck
Yeah,
to like make it a livable thing. And a
That's-
good
that's
emergency
cool.
vehicle.
Yep.
So yeah, that I would look into. I don't know. I always wanted to like build it though. I always wanted to build something. Just don't have the right workshop for it though.
No, that's the tough part. Is like that's a lot of room.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily. Like I know a lot of people do them just in their yard
Yeah.
or something like that. But you still like to have an engine
Yeah.
Mhm.
to move an engine. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot of. That's
Hoist it up and like
Yeah.
put it somewhere and not
you need a lot of
mess it up.
machinery.
Yeah.
Or you need a lot of bigger tools, like very specific tools to maneuver things like that. So if you get in with a shop or something, like
Right.
maybe you could pull it off. But
It can't be like, hey Sups, come
Come help,
me lift this engine into the
thing.
car.
Right.
And just hold it there while I screw everything in. Yeah.
well, that's why the motorcycle was nice.
Yeah, because you can do that.
You can actually
Mhm.
pick up the engine of a motorcycle. Might be difficult, but
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
One
like,
person
especially-
could technically do it.
Right. Yeah, you get a little something for the frame. You could pop the wheels off and just you're good to go. And all the parts to just spread out don't really take up that much room.
Yeah.
So you got some space there. One of the things I thought about doing was taking like one of the old heavy cars and just doing it like basically covering it with fiberglass,
Okay.
popping the fiberglass off, take the metal off, put the fiberglass back on.
Yeah.
So it's really light.
Lightweight. Yeah.
That's one of the things I've always thought about doing with
They've
an-
done that. They've done that with a couple of cars.
I know I want to do it with like all the like
Yeah.
like an old Mustang or something.
If you see, there's a lot of like foreign countries. They'll do it in like Abu Dhabi, India, like China,
Abu Dhabi's
Japan.
nuts.
Yeah, they do lots of crazy things over there.
Their cars are just insane over there.
Yeah, but they make like these like they look like classic cars, classic Mustangs or Jeep Wagoneers or whatever, but they're like all aluminum body or
That's so
fiberglass or
Wow.
whatever, and then they put in all the electronics and stuff to make it like super modern inside. It's kind of crazy. And then like you see the articles like, would you drive this fake Mustang or whatever?
Yes, I
It's like,
would.
yeah.
I 100% would.
Which made me think of, we were watching this Indian movie last night with my parents, and like the bad guys were in this like old school military Jeep, but to make it look the most like U.S. possible, they like wrote Ford on it. And,
But-
like U.S. plates and flags. It was hysterical.
But it was like almost in Hindi style. So it wasn't in Hindi, but I don't know, the lettering was terrible.
It's like if you ever go there, you see the trucks over there, and like to customize it or design it their own way, they'll write their own stuff with like
Mhm.
paint and things. They did it that way on this Jeep, but
I
I,
like
don't know
it.
why it made me
Yeah.
think of that. It was hysterical.
Yeah,
It's
it was
like,
very funny.
you have a Ford military Jeep, but it was their way of being like, look how cool,
Yeah.
look how we love American culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We apologize for that. Sorry.
Who?
Why
Uh,
do you apologize for that?
The U.S. culture in general.
Oh,
There's good and bad, right?
I'm not apologizing
I know.
because any of the stuff I would apologize for, I have nothing to do with. So
You're a consumer.
Barely.
You're a capitalist. Damn capitalist.
I am that.
We are capitalists, right?
And are we good at it?
Who? You, me, and these two? And Merlin?
Merlin's good at it.
Merlin
For us.
specifically.
He's more of a socialist.
Yeah, that's true.
He would build
He's a
dog
good consumer,
community.
though. Consumer of foods.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That's literally
I'm pretty good at that
Toys.
too. Yeah, he's like me.
Do you give him a lot of dog toys?
He has a bunch,
Yeah.
but not a ton.
Yeah.
He doesn't play with them too much.
Yeah.
Wojo.
Simple guy.
Oh, I sent you the thing. It was Wojo, the hedgehog.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
He's a big hedgehogger.
It was.
Yes. Lots of plushy
I know.
hedgehogs.
I
Yeah.
like the plushy hedgehog.
He has like a bunny that he's kept
I'll get to
forever.
do that, like, in a
Aw,
week.
like as his little security blanket.
It's like he likes to play with it and stuff, but he like he'll carry it around. You used to see him cuddle it, like he'd have it like between his paws. He'd be laying. He likes
so
bunnies, but he also likes to kill bunnies if
Yeah.
he gets the chance.
Yeah. It's instinctual.
Yeah. He just loves them so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
I know
want-
that feeling. Like you love
Yeah.
something so much you want
just
to bite
want
it.
to- Yeah, yeah.
You just want to grab it by the neck.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just-
Just toss it around.
Crunch it till his bones crumble.
Yeah,
When we first moved into the house, we brought Augie and Todd over there. And we're like, oh, let's go see how they do in the yard. And we were inside like measuring stuff, and we're like, where'd the dogs go? Like, why aren't they around? I don't see them in the yard. So I say, Augie, Todd, where are you? And I just see them come around the corner, like with these goofy smiles on their face, and Augie has his bird in his mouth. Like, look what I got! Like, it's our friend. The poor bird is like alive. He's got like his wing and like flapping. I was like, no, put him down.
It was a little baby bird because a little fledgling trying to learn how to fly,
Yeah.
and was just in the
Okay.
wrong place at the wrong time.
I was gonna say, how did you catch a
Was
bird?
it dead or?
No,
no.
we
we ended up putting the bird in a box and taking it to like a wildlife rescue.
Oh, okay.
yeah. And
And then the weirdest thing was like we called the next day to be like, "Hey, did that bird make it?" And they're like, "We're not allowed to like tell you about the bird or whatever. What I can tell you is that no birds have died since yesterday."
we're like,
Oh.
I'm like,
So
What is
so
this?
so it survived. Thanks.
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
like, what is-
Loopholes.
yeah
Or-
exactly.
like, yeah, so
What
is
is
this a
that?
secret organization or I don't know, the
not
bird
like-
CIA? Like I don't
shady
know.
stuff is going on at this wildlife rescue.
You're on need to know basis.
Yeah.
It's not like a HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it is.
Yeah.
The
Oddly, it
health
was-
of our birds.
It's probably
is
just because
not
there's
to
some
be
like
disturbed.
real fanatical people, you know, like eventually they're like, we can't just keep dealing with all these people. We have to just like make a rule that
Don't talk to
doesn't
them.
allow us to talk to the crazy people, and then they just secretly tell the sane people
Yeah.
the results.
But I wasn't a crazy person.
No, you weren't. That's why they told you.
Oh, they kind of told me.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, they did. They followed the rules, but they
They
still
just-
got
Still
the.
told us, yeah.
I mean, that's all it
I
is.
got you.
You know,
I got you.
message
Yeah.
conveyed.
I caught up now.
Yeah.
Since we have a dog trainer in the house, are there dog training things you guys need?
We can.
I think
Bring
we're
it back a little bit.
I think I'm past the point with Wojo of training him.
I was he's just
You
he's
never
just-
passed.
He
the
doesn't
point,
need
doesn't
any
he?
training
He
either,
doesn't like
right?
thunder
Yeah.
No.
or fireworks. So July kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Same thing with Augie.
I feel like
So
most dog owners that are heavily involved with their dogs or cats or animals, yeah, July is not a good month for them. No.
No.
Wojo
My
spends
dogs
a lot
have
of
never
time.
been bothered by fireworks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wojo spends a lot of time down here with me,
Mhm.
and I'll make a little fort,
Oh.
and I'll like put on my iPad, so it's like
Yes.
noise.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I was like, man, I wish I. Terrible idea, but maybe a good idea. I was like, I think most of it is just the actual noise of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that boom feeling.
Yeah, and I was like, man, if I could just put some headphones on you.
Yeah.
They do make dog headphones. Like
damn it, my idea's already been taken.
They do. They do.
Shit.
I think it's. I don't know
I'm
if it's
out.
for Barmy.
He was
or
only
for,
in it for himself.
for bomb dogs or something. But yeah, I think.
Oh,
they-
bomb dogs, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So you can train Wojo to wear some earmuffs. Think
Yeah,
that
you
would-
would it's hard not to just wish that like a tradition that's so stupid and senseless would just go away, but
Right.
it won't. So you just have to figure out ways to
to
cope
go
with it.
around
Right.
it. Especially, yeah.
Because
You're
it's
not
like
getting
so
away from it.
unnecessary. Like, why do we got to blow stuff up? Like, why?
Yeah.
Because of America.
It's not even that impressive. You know what I mean? It's just like You know what I mean? Like, there's really like
Maybe
it's
like
just
the
like
first time you see fireworks is like a
yeah,
kid or
Yeah.
That's what happens. It gets
Sure.
into you when you're a kid.
and then it's a
Mhm.
nostalgic feeling,
Mhm.
right? Like, oh my god, it's so pretty, and then you're like, meh.
I don't mind
Yeah.
it on the 4th though. Like you give us
Yeah.
I'll give you a day.
It's like a
Yeah.
3-week window
But the-
now.
right.
Yeah.
It's just like some random time in the. It'll
Yeah,
be
when
like a Wednesday afternoon,
Yeah.
and you just
At
see
like 1
fireworks
o'clock.
going off. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
when did we like start elongating holidays? You know?
Yeah.
It's like everybody when they make it like a birthday week, you know. Now
Yeah.
It's like become like holiday weeks.
I think as people just stop living their lives, and now they just try to stretch out all those moments that they do decide to like really
Yeah.
hone
Enjoy
in on.
themselves.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. People just aren't having a good enough time most of the time.
Yes,
true.
as Americans, I don't think we have a good balance. You know, we just fall. What's the Japanese term of overworking and getting or being praised for being overworked and
Oh, I don't
about
know.
that.
passing out at your desk? There's a term for that. You just
No,
work
I'm not
yourself to
having that.
death, and I don't know. I feel like we're on that train,
That's
not
a
having
good-
enough.
that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting. Yeah, and I struggled with that, and I think that's where a lot of my like issues came from. Was just I was just working myself, and then I would crash.
Yeah. That's
You
what's
know, like I
happening right
had-
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was, like the first couple years, being in the golf industry, especially in the Northeast, where it's you only have a window of time that you could work. Yeah, it's gonna start snowing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, the golf course is closed. Like you don't have anything to do.
There's
So
no
it's like,
snow
oh,
golf yet? No snow.
No, and I hope that doesn't start.
Yeah, sorry.
Maybe some like cross country skis in there.
Hmm.
That might be doable.
Yeah.
I might be game.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm undecided on this.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll circle back to this maybe after this is over. But I was just like go 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 go, and then November would come around, and I was like, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was actually talking to someone else, and they were like, yeah, I don't know why. Another assistant pro somewhere. They're like, yeah, like I'm really nice to all these people that I don't care about, and then like I'd come home to the people I do care about
Yeah.
and be miserable.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a good point. Like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. So I just, not that I'm miserable to the people
Yeah.
at work. It's just like, you got to find your balance point. And just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to care as much. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do it well. But that's about it. That's all you're getting out of me. Like, I'm showing up for my 40 hours.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to leave, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
for you.
I'm not going to spend 80 hours a week here. And like the one year I was there every day for 4 months straight.
Yeah.
And like I went to
You gotta take time
a
off.
wedding in Philly in the middle of that. Like I worked in the morning, went to the wedding at night,
Came back.
and came back the next morning and worked in the afternoon. I was like, I need a break.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing is that's like the expectation of like getting a gold star or doing good is like
Right.
the more you work, the better you're gonna be and the more money you'll make and whatnot. But it's not true at all.
No.
It's like a balance. And it creeps up on you though. Like I forget about it too. That's what happened to me at this job. Was they kind of changed the role and I'm like, okay, we'll try it out or whatever. And now I'm working like 15-hour days for no more money. Pats on the back, basically, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it does affect, you know, like home life and physical life and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's like you gotta, till you have that wake up moment. But it's not like no one's proactively being like, oh, how's your mental health? Are you checking in? It's all like, I almost think like well, at least in corporate life, that's been my experience, right? Is they're like, you have to bring it up. It's as much you as it is us helping you nurture this, but you know, you have to tell me when you're being whatever. It's like you can't see that like giving me 80 clients all by myself was gonna, you know, do that or whatever type of deal.
Yeah.
So it's like,
No, it's just gonna squeeze every drop out of you.
yeah. But then like,
Until
you
you
know,
break.
there are hopes with like your company where
Yeah.
they gave her this whole week off. The whole company shuts down for the week.
So we're
So
trying to
they
change.
focus
Yeah,
on
I
mental
think
health.
I'm grateful that I have a pretty like I work in HR, and we have a pretty progressive team, and so this is now the third year that we've done this. Is you shut down the entire company, and so that way there's nothing to worry about, right? That you're missing out on something or
Mhm.
somebody else is doing something else.
Chat or whatever.
Yeah, so everything's shut down, and we resume next week because I think it's important to not to derail the train of what America's going on, and I think that luckily our company recognizes that and trying to do something about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you work for yourself.
Yeah. Or you work for yourself.
Set your own
Yeah,
boundaries.
Yes,
you can
and
do
set your
that,
boundaries.
yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a while to figure it out. Like
Yeah.
it took me, I would say a good 3-4 years of like overworking and
Yeah.
just never being able to stop thinking about work, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
until, I got to where I started just like balancing out.
Yeah.
Now it's like I have it figured out pretty much. You know, I stress a bit here and there, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Not like I used to. I used to stress all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes like, because that's all your life is at that point.
And everything like depends on it, you know, like,
yes.
you know,
Bills, yeah.
yeah, everything depends on
Livelihood,
it. And
yeah,
it's
all
like
that
not
stuff.
like you just go in, do what, you know, your tasks are for the day and then go home and you get a paycheck no matter what happens. Like
Right.
it's like there's a lot like more responsibility. But so it's definitely like not necessarily like easier, but eventually it's like more autonomous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For my dad, for instance, he sometimes would work 24 hours, when I was young, but he finally got to a
Hotel
point,
business.
in a hotel business. And so, whether that meant plunging a toilet at 2 a.m., he was
Yeah.
there, but he got to a point where he did that for 10 years. And then he's now able to kind of set his own boundaries and work in his PJs. So, but
Yeah.
so he just, I think if you have your own business, you can front load it or figure out a schedule that works for you.
Yeah.
I think that's the goal.
I think I read somewhere, it's like the 3 things you need are like autonomy. So
Mhm.
some feeling of control over what you do and how you set your job and strategize and all that. And then always like learning something new. So like
Mhm.
being forward thinking or whatever. And then I think the third was seeing that reward for the work you do.
Mhm.
It's like you need those 3 things for you to be like as
Fulfilled.
balanced and fulfilled as possible,
I've got those boxes filled in,
Yeah.
solid.
which is good.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Mine are very shaded.
You
Some are blank.
started with a check mark, and then you're like, wait,
Yeah,
no, there's
they
like a bunch of
were.
white space in there. I gotta fill
Yeah.
that in.
And it like ebbs and flows, and especially when you're working for someone else or whatever, things can
Yeah.
change
And-
drastically.
Are you in a large company?
They are, on paper, they are large, but the way they work is they start as consulting, and like so they're kind of set up like a consulting or like a legal corporation, where they have different divisions, and each division is its own profit center, so they act as their own business in a sense, and then they have shared services through corporate, like HR, legal, whatever. They'll be like, oh, we'll use these and pay for those services, but they have principals and equity principals that own their part of their practice.
So yeah, it's big.
So it's big, but then
That's
my
big. It's
practice
Big enough
is
that they have this
400
complicated
people.
arrangement to
Yeah.
avoid
Yeah.
paying more taxes,
Yeah.
so they're pretty big.
But the way they operate is they think they're a small entrepreneurial company.
Yeah.
But with this big whatever, like shell. And so you get a mix of that.
It's
and
like
it just
open.
does
It's
not
like
go
open
well.
source.
Yeah.
Like here's the recipe for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and you
How to
guys,
run
each
it.
one can do whatever you want with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and it was a cool concept, but it's all a lot of people who want to hold on to their money and like the way they do things, and so they don't really care about expanding through the people. They think about how do you cut the bottom line, type of deal, and push as much out of one person. So that's what I've been
Typical.
I've been like struggling with that lately. Is where do I go from that? Do I just go to another corporation and hope that it's slightly better? Do I try to do my own thing? But then if I do, what do I want to do? And how do I learn all that stuff? And will it be successful? Probably not.
Probably,
So-
but you won't know until you try.
Try it.
According to statistics, 90% of small businesses fail in their first
You're
year.
not a statistic, so you're a human being. God damn
Everything
it.
is math and numbers, James.
Nope. No, it's not.
I know. Sorry, I was watching Fast and Furious 9, and that was a quote
Statistics
from
just
there.
measure trends. They don't account for individuality.
Yes.
That's
I don't.
true.
Yeah.
That is very true. So, but yeah, and that's the struggle. I'm like having a 35-year-old life crisis.
I had one of those recently.
Of
Yeah.
like, what do I want to do with my life? So we'll see.
Who am I?
Who am I as a work person?
How can I contribute?
Yeah. So we'll see. But it's been interesting. That's what's been going on in our lives.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think this has helped me personally. Just having like this podcast is like,
Yeah.
it's something because I feel like I'm learning something new like every week.
Yeah.
Like I haven't had the opportunity to talk with Supna very much.
Yeah.
I know.
And then we bring on like random people.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully every week, but sometimes it's like every other week. We're not really pressing the issue too hard. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to have someone every Monday night. So it's like, I think this is such a big break from the golf world for me. Like I also do a golf podcast, but like this is like so different that it's like, oh, it's
Our 4 cents.
Yeah,
Our
our 4
4
cents.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little plug.
I could bring it up on here, but I won't.
Yeah, you got the golf box filled in.
Yeah, I do a plenty of that,
Yeah.
and it's funny because I don't even play.
I know.
I was like, I'm good. I just like hitting golf balls every once in a while, and then I hit like 10 or so, and I'm like, all right, that was good. That's it. I'm done.
Still got it.
Yeah, I can hit the golf ball. It goes that way.
Yeah.
I want it to go that way. Let's move on with my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's nice. Like this is like something that balances me out very much
Yeah.
because I have a lot of surface conversations with people.
Yeah. The small talk.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like 40 hours of small talk.
Yeah.
And then there's like maybe an hour in there where it's like, oh, I actually had a decent conversation this week with
Someone had a
one
day.
person for 20 minutes. Where
Someone had
now
a
it's
day
like,
where
oh,
they
I
wanted
get
to
3.
unload on you. Yeah.
What's that?
I said someone had a day where they wanted to unload on you.
Yeah, no, yes, that happens often. Where they're unlike their therapy session. It's just like, why are you telling me all of this information? I don't need to know that much. We're not having that type of conversation.
Yeah.
But this is just a meaningful conversation
Yeah.
about anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't really care. That's why you guys were like, what are we going to talk about? I was like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Just talk.
I Googled how to be a good podcast guest.
Oh, really?
Just like
Try to be perfect, man.
No,
It's all good.
I have problems.
How to be a good anything. Be yourself.
There
Yeah.
you go.
That's what it said. It said
Did it?
Be
Be
the number
yourself?
one, be yourself. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
So
know.
you can talk quiet. I'll just turn the volume all the way up.
Yeah.
So hopefully people can hear you.
I know.
But that was something I struggled with, was like talking, and like that's why I kept pointing at you. I'm like, move the microphone next to your
Yeah.
face.
Oh, I heard. I've listened to all your podcasts.
So I'm trying
Super
to get.
fan, number one super fan right here.
I know you
For-
are actually. You're the most likely to promote either of the podcasts
On social media.
Yes.
on social media.
I'm just
'cause
I'm very
you do all
proud-
the social media
Proud
for
of my
me.
friends. I love you all.
I don't do any of the social media.
I don't see you all that much often. So when I listen to these podcasts, I feel like, oh, I'm having sometimes I talk to you guys in
That's
the
perfect.
podcast. Yeah, because I'm like, oh wait, what about this idea? And then I text you.
Yeah.
I should just text
There you
both of you.
Now you're on it.
But you don't like texts.
Me?
You like making love in person. Not over text. I like that theory.
Someone I
Can
don't
you talk
sext.
about? Yeah, can you talk about that theory? I like
Making
that.
love?
Yeah.
In person,
In person?
In person.
not via text.
Not via
Well,
text.
I mean, you can make love via text, I think.
You can.
Yeah. But just making love, just like making love as like a.
Yeah. Not
Um,
a sexual. It's not a sexual.
No, it's just like everything can be love, and you're responsible for making it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, just life in general could just be, you could just make it about making love, and then you don't have to worry so much about all the details.
Yeah.
You know, you just make sure that you're always just like trying to make love out of everything that everyone and everything that you encounter and do is just like like could be as meaningful as like love, like not necessarily sexual, depending on the circumstances, but
It could be.
it could be. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think that's
That's-
beautiful.
We
Yeah.
ended our last text message saying, "I can't wait to make love with you in person."
Now we're making love.
So now we're
There we
making
go.
love in
There we go.
person.
Yeah. I'm
love and death are basically love and
Where
death
did we
are
go?
central,
Where did this
like
go?
central themes for me. Like they kind of like, especially now, but I think they always have, but now for sure. Like just accepting that we're all going to die,
Yeah.
and that
Mhm.
the best way to spend our life, however much we have of it, is to spend it making love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's funny how you always forget. Like we are finite beings.
Mhm.
I think about it every day.
Yeah.
Now I have an app that reminds me 5 times a day that I'm
Yeah.
gonna die.
I thought about
Really?
It's called We Croak,
Yeah.
and it
That's funny.
gives me a reminder 5 times a day. It says, "Don't forget you're going to die,"
Yeah.
and then it gives
So
you
do
and then it gives you a quote.
Well, that's
Mm.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
It's
Yeah.
very stoic.
Yeah. Stoic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like
I suppose.
stoicism. It's just like, what's it, momentum mori or something? I think that's basically saying like, yeah, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you're going to die. So live.
Yes.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
I started thinking about like when my dad had that issue where he was like going in for a gallbladder surgery, and then it like tanked his brain oxygen levels. And he was in the ICU for 4 days. And he
I didn't
almost
know
died.
this. Wow.
So, after that, I was just like, oh yeah, these people are gonna die. I'm gonna die. Like,
This is real.
make sure you do live and however you want. And sometimes it's hard. I try to remind myself when I get like upset or cranky or super annoying to Supna of like, does this stuff really matter? No, probably not in the grand scheme of things, you know. So like, I don't know. It's been interesting the last like 2 or 3 years ever since then of like thinking that view instead of like having this huge expectation of like, what do I need to do? And I have all this stuff I need to do, and I want to
Mhm.
like build this and build that and blah blah blah. But then like, you know, can't do all that stuff, and you're always gonna like set the goalpost further. So instead, just live in the moment more instead of thinking about the future so much. I still struggle with that, obviously, but
It's like well, it's definitely an awareness that requires, like you have to refresh that perspective like
Yeah.
pretty often to keep it front and center.
no.
So
And I think part of your thing of making love is having daily gratitude to
Yeah.
feel fully alive, right? Just having that daily thought of, oh, shit, like I'm alive, you know, or you know, this happened. I think
Yeah,
having that awareness helps too,
that's true.
you know. So maybe it wasn't as an exciting day, but having that gratitude of, you know,
Just being alive.
just being alive or having chai, your mom's chai,
yeah.
especially.
Oh.
Shout out to Smita's chai.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
When you said your mom was making treats, I was like, ooh, quesadillas, and then I was like, ooh, chai would be nice too.
She tells you guys to come over all the
Yeah.
time.
I know. I have her number.
Yeah. She wants you to come over. Go over. Learn how to make it. Give her some
Mhm.
company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Those quesadillas are gonna be bomb.
I can't wait. I skipped dinner because I was gonna eat
Yeah, I
them
thought
before
we
the
were gonna eat
podcast,
those.
but
Can we eat them during?
it's
the
all right.
podcast?
And now I have like 2 extra hours to think about it and fantasize about
And be
it.
truly grateful, you know?
I'm so grateful
Yeah.
for these quesadillas.
It is. It's nice coming like home and like our house has not changed. Like it is literally the same way it was since high school.
Yeah.
And so now we're going through some things and like you see some of this stuff. It's fun, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like a good warm feeling, right? Mom makes chai and has the quesadillas or some Indian food and all that kind of stuff. Hearing the wind chimes on the deck, like it just
Get the warm fuzzies.
look at the warm fuzzies. Makes you want to live here again.
It's
Yeah.
a kind of like a
Partially.
reminder, like it's kind of like a reminder that you don't like. You can go all over and travel all over the world and see all these amazing things, but
Yeah.
all you ever really needed was like right where you started.
Yeah,
It's nice to
and all you
travel
guys are
and do
here,
things.
right? And so like I think that's a big part of it too. Like a lot of our friends are still in this area, so it makes it nice also coming home because you can connect with all of you.
Yeah, we're definitely blessed.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
FaceTime is not the same.
No.
But I also think it's interesting because I just thought of this maybe like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I really actually haven't seen you in a really long time.
yeah. I
And
know
I was
that.
like,
When's
oh,
the
someone's
last
here.
time-
All right. Hey, what's up? Like,
Yeah.
nothing,
That's how you know,
nothing
like,
different.
As long as you're friend, I don't know, a statistic for you. I read that if you're friends with somebody for 7 years, you're going to be friends with them for a lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like what they found as the cutoff
Hmm.
of like length, and we have all been friends for way more than 7 years. But like I think I talk to people about this all the time too. Is our high school class, and similar for like college for me, like we all just like bonded really well for some reason, and
Mhm.
that's not common. I don't think. Like
No.
you know, a lot of people don't stay in touch with 10 to 15 of their high school friends, or like have this where like,
Sense of community.
yeah, I haven't seen you in 4 years, like, but oh, I'm gonna come over and say hi to your mom and dad, and you know, sit down and hang out or whatever. Like, it's nothing really, you know. But I really like I appreciate that all the time. You don't find many friends like that. It's hard to do that. So I think that's really cool.
Also, fun fact, it also helps the longevity of your life to have a nice community.
Yeah.
It helps lengthen your life because of the
Yeah.
anxiety lifted of
Mm.
being able to share
It's true.
with each other your ups and downs
Yeah.
together and get it through.
Yeah, like
Do it
someone
together.
was one of in like the close group of like me personally. You were probably one of the later ones
Yeah. Cuz yeah,
That
you
was-
guys, yeah.
because that was like 2002, which
Yeah,
is
when we
still
were on
a
the golf team.
really long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, someone was one of the last ones in the group.
Oh!
I joined in, but it felt like I was there forever. Yeah, no, it was, I think, like, elementary school and stuff. I was very much, it was like Bob and Decker and that group. Because I went to Waverly, and then, like, middle school, it's just kind of when whoever you're sectioned in with. But I think middle school is where I met Campbell. And Campbell was kind of my connection to all you guys, because he lived by, like, Mark Piazza.
Yeah.
Michael would go over there.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of us started hanging out. And then
But it was mostly golf for us.
it was golf for you and me. It was dating the same group of girls for Oliver, me, and Campbell.
Oh, that's true.
'Cause, yeah, and then not like the same girls, but
Yeah,
Girls that hung out.
yes.
They were just
Let me
trading
clarify.
girls
I
for.
was like, wait, what? No.
It was a a little stint in
Polyamory. A
polyamory.
really
Yeah.
early introduction there. Yeah.
phrasing. Yeah. And then, like, I don't know, it was just high school. Like, high school, we all kind of bonded. But that was cool about our group, too, is, like, everybody could come in and out, too. There's, like, a
Mhm.
core kind of group, right? But we never, like, said no to anybody. We always hung out with, like, those different stereotypical cliques or whatever.
You always made love to everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of love
There's a
making
lot of
going on.
lovemaking everywhere,
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, and I've told this story. I may have told it on here already, but I was at Danielle Yerke's wedding.
Oh, yeah?
Well, not her wedding. I was at the reception. Lauren was the photographer. And
Okay.
She was like, I don't really know who's going to be here. Just come hang
Come
out.
hang
And I
out
was
to
like,
give
yeah,
me
sure.
company. Yeah.
So, I mean, Danielle was a little drunk, but she was like, oh, like, blah, blah, but, like, you guys were, like, the cool kids in high school. And I was like, how the fuck were we the cool kids in high school? But then we were like,
We weren't
just,
though. We were just cool.
right, we weren't like the popular kids in high school. Like, but we were popular enough that we could hang out with anyone. And I think we were very open. We were, like, a very open group of people.
Yeah.
I think
We were
that's-
hippies. That helped.
Yeah, that helps.
Hippies to that.
Everyone liked smoking weed in high school.
Yeah. Not everybody, but everybody liked people who smoked weed in high school. 'cause
Hey.
They were
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
friendlier,
There you go.
less
Those are the nice
stressed. And
Those guys over there are nice.
Well,
they
it's
don't
funny,
care
too,
about all
that,
this
like-
dumb shit that everyone else cares about.
Yeah.
That's true. And you had your Jesus hair, so you were naturally
Oh, that's
just
funny.
having people to
I got
follow
a good
you.
one.
Is that what it was? Because I was Jesus and
You had Jesus.
you were all my
People
apostles.
naturally were like, "Hey, we gotta follow that guy."
I was just talking to someone that I work with about the podcast, and they saw the photo of you and me, and they're like, "Oh, that's like you said, the very like, was that the dinner?
The Last Supper.
The Last Supper.
Thank you.
Yeah.
that
The
one.
Last
Yeah,
Supper.
yeah.
The Last Supper.
I should have titled it The Last Supper.
Damn,
New title.
Can you
New
edit the
title.
Can we
title?
change it?
I don't know.
You probably.
I mean, I
can.
could do it when I put it on like Spotify.
There you go.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway,
she was like, "Oh, he kind of has a little Jesus vibe going on," and I was like, "Oh, that's really funny."
it's so random.
We used to call him that
That's
when he had
funny.
really long straight hair and a
Yeah.
ponytail. That's good for your ego.
Yeah.
If you make it
Uh,
good for your ego.
It could be, I
Want it
suppose.
to be good for your ego.
It could make my ego humbler,
Yeah.
more compassionate,
I
and
hope so.
empathetic. It does.
But I think everybody had a different version of who was cool and who was not, right? Like, if you asked us, we weren't the cool kids. We probably had a different version of, like, oh, no, that was,
Idea.
like, the cool group. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to do that. Talk to all those people from high school.
Who you thought were
Who you
cool?
thought was cool people?
We were cool, but you didn't stay in touch with, and just be like, "What did you think of me back then?"
Okay.
That would be
I'm not. I mean, it
interesting.
would be interesting, but I'm not interested.
I am. So maybe.
Maybe I'll start my own podcast.
So I'm gonna start a podcast
I'm
of
trying
just
to figure
calling
out
people
who
from
I
high
am.
school and
I
asking
will-
them what they thought of them. The most egotistical podcast of all time.
That's all it consists of.
Tell me how much you loved me,
Or hated me.
preferably loved me, but.
But I'll accept it too.
So I'm going through a 35-year-old life crisis. Okay, I don't know who I am.
Just little Zoom meetings. It's just like Soam and someone else's face, and Soam just going, "What'd you think of me?" And they're like, "I don't know. You were kind of cool." And they're like, "Okay,
Cool,
thank
thanks.
you."
Okay.
All right, cool. Next.
call.
One check in the cool bucket. Sorry, that came out wrong. It's not what I meant. It's not what I meant.
It's
Sure
funny.
about
though.
that, man?
It's kind of what you meant.
Maybe it is.
Every-
It's a little bit what you meant.
every time
You just
you
didn't
guys-
realize what it meant.
Oh, that was awesome.
Every time you guys describe your childhood, I just think of Stranger Things, but without the monsters and just everyone playing in their basements. Like
What do you mean? Just because we have
Dungeons
basements?
and
Because we have basements.
I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons, but not Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe just smoking weed. 'Cause-
That was it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't play Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
I mean, we were all like dorks.
PlayStation.
We were all like sort of dorky in our own way. I'm sure. You know, just like
We would sit
But,
at
like-
JJ's and like play Sudoku until someone called us that a house was empty or something.
yeah, we smoke weed and we go to JJ's. We'd smoke cigarettes and drink coffee for like
And
7
we go find
hours.
somewhere to drink alcohol.
Yeah.
And then we drank some.
Drinkers,
We
though.
didn't. We didn't. We like eased
Did
in.
at one
We were
point.
responsible.
Yeah, we were very
Underage drinkers
That's
until we became irresponsible underage drinkers. But we like eased in.
No, I think it was we were irresponsible, legal age drinking drinkers.
Maybe. I mean, besides like garaging and
Yeah,
all
I didn't do
people
that.
getting
Yeah,
blacked out drunk
garaging.
and stuff. That's irresponsible.
Do you know what that is?
I do not.
besides like garaging and
Yeah,
all,
I didn't.
people getting
yeah,
blacked out drunk
garaging.
and stuff. That's irresponsible.
Do you know what that is?
I do not.
Garaging and
Yeah,
all,
I didn't.
people getting
Yeah,
blacked out drunk
garaging.
and stuff. That's irresponsible.
Do you know what that is?
I do not.
And
Yeah,
all,
I didn't.
people getting
Yeah,
blacked out drunk
garaging.
and stuff. That's irresponsible.
Do you know what that is?
I do not.
And
Yeah,
all,
I didn't.
people getting
Yeah,
blacked out drunk and
garaging.
stuff. That's irresponsible.
Do you know what that is?
I do not.